What really happened between Jungkook and Taehyung behind the scenes of HYB's secret Swiss project? Why is Taehyung the only one Jungkook takes on his crazy mission to Europe? Is this the greatest sacrifice he has ever made in hiding from the public? A shocking fact is finally revealed. The army won't believe what Jungkook has done for Taehyung's sake. Jungkook has been hiding his crazy actions for Taehyung all this time. Astonishing facts about the departure to Switzerland that made the army cry. Did you ever wonder, why Taehyung? Why not another member? Why was he the only one standing next to Jungkook when the Swiss fog enveloped the skies of Europe and the world seemed to stop when the news of the departure was announced? Is this just a coincidence? Or is there a deeper, more painful, more moving story that Jungkook himself has been hiding? This question now became an emotional explosion in the hearts of the army because HYB, for the first time, opened a little curtain of secrets that had been tightly hidden on a departure date that was kept secret from the media. Only one name was mentioned in the project's internal itinerary: Kim Taehyung. Jungkook, who has always been known for being independent and daring to perform solo, makes one completely unexpected decision. He doesn't want anyone to be in this Swiss project, except Taehyung. And when this news was confirmed by an official statement from HYB, the world seemed to pause. Not because of the beauty of Switzerland they were going to, but because of the question that hung over everyone's head. What was Jungkook really planning? HYB does not call this project an ordinary promotional trip. There was not even an official announcement that it was part of the preparation of the album. On the other hand, in an accidentally leaked internal conference call, a staff member from the creative division said that Jungkook's project is more personal, and the reason why only Taehyung is participating is because this mission has a very emotional connection between the two. Is this a real form of hidden sacrifice? Or has Jungkook been keeping a big secret that is only now coming to the surface? To make matters worse, an exclusive report that was only distributed on a limited basis to internal staff mentions that Jungkook refused the presence of additional crew, photographer HYB, even his personal manager, unless Taehyung stayed by his side. It's no longer about logistics. It's about bonding. Questions then flooded social media. Is there something being hidden from the army? Why so extreme? A fanbase with millions of followers uploaded an old video clip of Jungkook once saying, "If I go abroad without Taehyung, it feels like something is empty." Those words, which used to be considered just a warm joke, have now become an emotional backfire that hits the heart of the fandom. The army was divided. Some weep bitterly because they feel betrayed, feeling that all this time there is a secret world that has never been open to them. But there are also those who feel even more in love because they know how much love and sacrifice Jungkook can save just for someone who means so much in his life. But is it just about friendship? Or is there a much deeper story that has been hushed up all this time? Another internal source revealed that the project is titled Snow Frame, a mysterious title that was never listed in HYB's public documents. There is not even an explanation of whether it is an album, a short film, or a documentary. Only one thing is known. Snow Frame was an idea proposed by Jungkook himself, and he insisted that only Taehyung could help him realize the concept. Even HYB staff who refused to get involved because the project was too personal made the rumors even wilder. Some fans also began to uncover clues scattered in the past. Jungkook, in some of BTS's V-Lives and Run episodes, often shows more attention to Taehyung. But no one expected that attention could develop into such a crazy stunt as eliminating everyone in the project just to be alone with Taehyung in Switzerland. An investigative report from a Korean entertainment journalist even wrote that for the past 4 months, Jungkook has been secretly collecting footage of Taehyung, recording his daily life, even asking Taehyung's family for permission to use his childhood photos, all for the sake of a narrative that has never been shown before. Is this a documentary about friendship? Or was Jungkook trying to say something more honest, something too deep to say on stage? The emotion was heightened when a photo spread. Jungkook and Taehyung standing on the edge of a Swiss lake. No crew, no camera, just one tripod and one long hug. The photo was not uploaded by the media, but by a local tourist who did not know who they were. But the army knows. They know who the two figures are, and they know that this is not just a project. When media tried to ask for confirmation, HYB gave only one short sentence: Jungkook has the right to choose who is important in his work. A statement that does not explain anything, but it opens up 1,000 possibilities. Why stay in Switzerland? Why should it be secret? And why is Taehyung the only one chosen? Some suspected that Jungkook was recording a farewell. Some believe that this is the beginning of a secret duet project between two of BTS's most iconic members. But more than that, some army began to fear. They wonder, is this project a form of goodbye? Did Jungkook save the last message before he decided to step away from the spotlight? Or will Taehyung be the one to leave? Everything becomes a big, unsolved puzzle. But one thing is certain, since the day of their departure to Switzerland, Jungkook and Taehyung's relationship can no longer be viewed as just his partner in BTS. There is something much bigger, crazier, and more emotional that has been hidden all along, and is now beginning to unfold little by little. Are you ready to know everything? Or are you afraid of the truth? Because when love, friendship, sacrifice, and secrets collide in one moment in Switzerland, the world will never see Jungkook and Taehyung the same way again. When the news of HYB's departure to Switzerland first came out of the mouths of HYB's staff, none of them expected that the most emotional reaction would come from Taehyung himself. In a report that was never released to the public, one of the assistant managers revealed that when Jungkook first submitted his Snow Frame project proposal to the agency, he did not directly convey his plans to Taehyung. She wrote one short sentence in the proposal: "I want him to know how much he changed my life." That sentence sounds simple, but it contains emotions that cannot be explained with ordinary words. When the project documents were finally shown to Taehyung, he burst into tears. Not crying because he was sad, not because he was happy, but because he felt guilty. That all this time, he never realized how deep Jungkook's sacrifice was hidden behind the innocent smile and laughter of BTS's Magne Child. One of HYB's creative video crew, who was in charge of putting together the project's initial visual concept, said that Jungkook deliberately hid this concept from all the members, including Taehyung, for almost 6 months. He wanted the project to be a surprise, a gift that was not only conveyed through words, but also through images, sounds, memories, and small moments that had been underestimated. What Taehyung found in the script of Snow Frame left him speechless for hours in the rehearsal room. He didn't say a word, just looked out the window like someone who had just been awakened from a long dream. The script contains footage of the two of them, from the moment they first met in the trainee dormitory, when the two secretly ran off to eat ramen in the middle of the night, to the moment when they almost had a big fight over a misunderstanding in a choreography rehearsal. However, more than anything, there was one chapter that made Taehyung shed tears without being able to stop it. The chapter was titled, "When the World Hates You, I Will Not Leave." In this piece, Jungkook writes down for himself, in handwriting, not computer typing, all the moments when Taehyung was vilified, bullied online, or ostracized by public opinion for his spontaneous and honest attitude. Jungkook, in his writings, admitted that he kept all that pain in silence. He wrote, "I want to protect you, but I'm too afraid to talk. Now, I don't want to be quiet anymore." Taehyung's reaction to this script became a turning point. Not only did he agree to the project, he even begged to write an extra chapter in the film. "My reply to you, Jungkook." And according to the source who leaked this document, the chapter was not written in ordinary words. Taehyung chose to write it in the form of a song that has never been released. The song contains only the sound of an acoustic guitar, a soft piano clang, and Taehyung's low voice singing the lyrics. "You are the one who stayed when the noise got too loud." The lyrics are now the subject of the biggest speculation in ARMY circles. Will this song be the OST of Snow Frame? Or will it be kept forever as part of the deepest secrets of both? The news that this project contains a special song created by Taehyung for Jungkook made the world fandom crazy. Twitter's trending topic for more than 48 hours contained only one sentence: Jungkook's madness for Taehyung. Fans started digging through all the old archives, looking for clues that they had missed, and what they found made it all the more confusing. In one of the old episodes of Bangtan Bomb, when the other members were talking about the future of BTS, Jungkook was seen writing something on a small piece of paper. The camera didn't pan out clearly, but a fan managed to zoom in on the resolution of the video and realize. When the full script of the Snow Frame project finally reached the desk of CEO HYB, the atmosphere turned tense. A nearly 200-page document, complete with visual storyboards, voice-over scenarios, documentary scene sequences, and most shockingly an appendix of personal recordings of Jungkook's never-published monologues. In the monologue, Jungkook speaks directly to the camera in a trembling yet resolute voice. "I made this not for fans, not for agencies, not for the market. I made this for him, for the only person who sees me when I don't even recognize myself." That sentence blew up HYB's internal boardroom like a time bomb. The entire board of directors panicked. They are aware that this is no ordinary project. This is something that could create a huge wave, perhaps a tsunami in an idol industry filled with restrictions, illusions, and tight management control. They began to question, is the public ready to accept such an emotional and personal work from an idol as big as Jungkook? But the scarier question comes from within. Is HYB ready to relinquish control? Some people from the executive team suggested that the project be postponed, revised, and even restored with a safer version. But Jungkook did not remain silent. In an additional handwritten document, he stated that if this project was changed, cut, or curtailed, he was ready to quit the agency and complete this project as an independent artist. This statement is not kidding. HYB's legal team began recalculating the contract. They realized that if Jungkook really decided to step down, not only would the project be ruined, but stocks, brand collaborations, and even the agency's long-term reputation could go into free fall. But more than that, there was a bigger fear. What if the public supported Jungkook completely? What if the army stood with him, even if it meant fighting HYB? The media began to smell conflict. Several major outlets began publishing articles with bombastic headlines. Jungkook fought HYB for the love project for Taehyung. Jungkook's secret movie could be the turning point in BTS's career. Snow Frame, a true story that could change the history of K-pop. Meanwhile, the army began to dig deeper. They found that in every visual teaser that circulated quietly, there was always a repeating symbol and image of snow falling on a purple flower. Some believe that it is a symbol of BTS friendship. But some other armies have surprising theories. The purple flower is a representation of Taehyung, and the snow is a symbol of the cold heart of the world trying to wrap around him. Jungkook, through the symbol, wanted to say, he will keep the flower blooming, even in the most painful winter. Emotions were flowing. The comments on social media went from curiosity to tears. Many fans have said that they have only recently come to understand how deep Jungkook and Taehyung's relationship is, not as a stage couple, but as human beings who have been together in the dark. One viral comment read, "If Snow Frame is a love letter, then this is the most honest love letter ever made in the history of Korean music." But the storm is not over. HYB finally issued an ambiguous official statement. "We are in internal discussions regarding the Snow Frame project. We support the creativity of our artists, but also pay attention to public and commercial responsibility." This statement is like sowing gasoline on an already burning fire. Army exploded. Hashtags like #LetJKCreate and #SupportSnowFrame dominate global social media platforms. An online petition was launched, demanding that HYB give Jungkook complete freedom and not silence art just for the sake of commercial interests. On the other hand, Taehyung, who has been known to be calm, finally opened his voice in Weverse. He only wrote one sentence, but that sentence created an immeasurable shock. "If I am not allowed to stand by his side, then there is no meaning in all that we have created." That sentence made the fans cry. They are aware that this project is not just about one piece. It's about principles, about love that doesn't have to be romantic, but strong enough to cost a career, a reputation, even a multi-million contract. Jungkook and Taehyung aren't playing games. An internal email leaked to the public shows that the project was halted for 2 days because HYB sent a team of supervisors to Switzerland. But what they found instead was not a destructive project, but a project so beautiful, too beautiful to be muted. One of the creative staff who returned to Seoul brought a 2-minute raw clip. He played it in the editing room, and none of the staff could hold back tears. Right in the clip, Taehyung and Jungkook sit on a large rock by the lake. The camera doesn't move anyone. The wind shifted the leaves, and they just talked as two ordinary mortals. Jungkook says, "I don't care if this never gets aired. The important